Previously on Inside Scoop.
Didn't you say Gina and Jasmine are on HEA?
Yes.
How is that possible?
I told you. This is why I know.
Just that it's that old?
Well, yeah.
Because they're not together.
Everybody in the 90-day world, I think, knows they're not together.
And they were only together for 2 weeks after the tell-all. So what is HEA? 2 weeks spread out over 10 episodes?
No, it's, to be honest, it's HEA question mark. Happily Ever After question mark is the title of the show.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Coupled with Chaos.
Inside Scoop, Volume 253. This week we have some Amanda Wilhelm. You remember Amanda? Amanda and I would say a Coupled with Chaos podcast fan group favorite of Razvan.
Oh, okay.
Everyone was pretty happy with him.
When he would take his shirt off?
Yes, he would, and I think his underwear modeling. Amanda and Razvan.
Cooking in an apron and undies?
There's some Geoffrey Paschal update. Gino.
I wanted to adjust his apron by removing it.
Ouch. We're not that podcast. Gino and Jasmine update, a couple of updates from current 90-day Fiancé season cast members, Stevie and Maddie, and Mark, and Mina. We are also going to talk a little Hunt for Love. There's some tell-all from season 11 of 90 Day stuff that is Inside Scoopable. We're going to talk Plathville. The trailer is out. And it looks like somewhere, I'm not sure if it's here or not, but 90 Day Fiancé UK Season 4. They have announced a cast for it also. We're going to talk about all of that and whatever else comes up. First, Amanda and Razvan. No Razvan update. I'm sorry for that. That did not happen.
It's unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Maybe that means he's still out there. You remember the last we heard of Razvan?
Not especially.
It was.
I kind of forgot about him until you mentioned his name.
Yeah, he'd made it here to visit her, and if you remember, that was kind of the talk that he was still going to come, but they weren't a couple. And it seems like that he left where she was and went to Florida and was hanging out. I remember her hanging out with some of the Miami-based cast members. And that's the last I'd heard of him. I haven't heard anything more from him.
She annoyed me tremendously, and I think that's why I forgot about Roswell.
Well, she has not annoyed Joel Zalazar is who it is, because it appears that she got married in January.
All right.
So this is just out now.
Well, that's good, because we don't have to hear about her anymore, ever again.
I think in this scenario, what you kind of hope for is that she has married a U.S. citizen, resident of the States, and then there won't be any more Amanda for us anymore.
Right, that's what I mean.
She was, and you know what, if it wasn't for, I mean, she had a lot of sympathy at the beginning. If you remember, her husband had passed away.
Yeah, she was just playing games. I was sick of her.
Yeah, it was. So.
She was hot, cold, like rude.
And she had Razvan there.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Girl, get it together.
And he seemed okay. We didn't see anything like big wrong with him.
No.
That would make him not somebody.
There was really nothing wrong with him.
Well, and it wasn't like he was somebody, and maybe I'm forgetting something, but like a big red flag for him that you'd go, I'm not.
No, I think he was nice, and she was playing games, running hot and cold, and come don't come, and whatever. I mean, she was just messy.
Extremely. Well, and, after losing her husband with the kids, I could see where this was a bit tricky for everything.
Well, yeah, we said that from the beginning, but it's not like she came to her senses and said that even.
No. Yeah. Maybe we're going to stick with, because she had a lot of mess with her, to be honest. You know? I mean, there was some violent fights and stuff in her past. I seem to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that came out until after. Maybe it came out during the show. But she had lost a sister, lost her husband, and her mom all within like a 3-year window. So I could see where, maybe she could be reeling from all that.
Mm-hmm. Well, then you wouldn't engage in this then.
Yeah,
Hey, I got to get myself together.
I would think that going on a 90-day show would probably not be
rank up there on
it would
things
not
to do.
be the best idea.
Right. Because it's not even just her. She's got kids, Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
So, Geoffrey Paschal, he has tried one last attempt after his appeals from the Tennessee Criminal Court of Appeals and the Tennessee Supreme Court were both denied in the past 2 years.
No surprise there.
In April, he has filed for a petition for post-conviction relief in Knox County Criminal Court. That was dismissed, and now he is going to his last effort at an appeal. It would be like going to the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still not done. And
except it is.
Yeah, except for it is. So.
And he made sure of that by being the loser that he was during the trial.
Yeah, he was really bad.
Yeah, he sealed his own fate.
He is
bad.
Yeah, he's just bad. But Varya still seems to be connected to him in some way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's still hanging on.
And we don't see too much of her. I think for me the issue is really why.
Yeah.
18 years is what he's got. So the issue, if you're not been around, in June of 19, he got attacked. We can't even say allegedly anymore. We don't even have to, right?
Right.
He attacked and beat up his fiancé.
Mm-hmm.
And so
before he was even on the show, which is why we don't understand how he got on the show.
A simple Google search, I think, would have been nice.
Mm-hmm.
So they, with about, I think, 4 or 5 episodes left in the season, they were just cut from the show. Or whatever it was, the period before they did the tell-all. They weren't involved in the tell-all either.
She was invited. He was not.
They just disappeared from the show. But he's still around doing this, evidently. One last story before we break. Gina and Jasmine. This is a story. You'd like to talk about Gina and Jasmine. They're one of your favorite couples to talk about because we never talk about them and there's not stuff for them ever out there. That's sarcasm.
I know.
The story here is that there are people in Michigan who have who saw Jasmine at the Planet Fitness in Michigan in 2023 before the last resort. They saw her with a person that they thought was her personal trainer. I don't know that they pay too much attention to who it was. I think you see somebody, you're in the gym, and maybe you don't know who people are, and then you see them on TV later. It makes sense that you know who they are. Like, I recognize that person. They're from my gym. The story here, though, is that or the personal trainer that she was working out with, turns out they're saying that she was also making out with. Do you understand? What would be the difference between working out and making out? One sounds like a job.
Exercising and get a room.
Exercising like your calves or maybe your back or your core versus exercising your lips, I would assume. Your tongue. Who was that? We saw somebody. Oh, it was, you were watching, what was the Real Housewives single show that you were watching? Do you remember what that was called? It just ended, right?
Oh, yeah, the Love Hotel.
Love Hotel is what it was. It reminds me of the Ashley, and because
That was so great.
now I realize many of you aren't Real Housewives fans, but if you're on the cusp at all and know,
She called the old guy Lizard Kisser.
right? And she Ashley is a fan of, let's just say, older white guys. This is like her type. And so there's a real handsome,
figures.
there's a real handsome dude, and then there's this guy. Not a bad looking older guy. And she gets him to the,
But he's 63, and she's got 2 little kids.
She's in her 30s, surely, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, she may be getting up in her 30s, or maybe not. So she gets them, and she picks him, and they're back together, and it's about to go down. And by about to go down, it's making out.
He's been invited to her room.
Right. And so they're in there, and he begins to kiss her, and then she comes up with a story that gets her out of the situation very quickly, which was...
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just started my period.
And she said it was because of his tongue kissing. He kissed like a lizard.
Like a lizard. Loop, 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 loop.
So evidently, maybe Matt doesn't kiss like a lizard. But
later, though, she got over it, and I guess his retrial was better.
Oh,
and
really?
I think he spent the night. Yes.
Oh, hey now.
Yeah.
So the issue here with Gina and Jasmine is this was all still before filming The Last Resort. Is all this stuff had happened. So that Jasmine, according to this source, and obviously Gino believes them, is that
she was already involved in that.
Yeah, she was already involved. Yeah. But if you don't care, if it doesn't matter to you, then you can catch all of Gino and Jasmine on the upcoming season of 90 Day Fiancé HEH.
Which I will not.
Season 9 that begins, I think it begins in like 3 weeks.
Oh.
So it's 3 weeks of tell-offs.
Oh.
So that's it. Catch more of your favorite couple, Gino and Jasmine, starting after the July 4th holiday. For us, we have so much more.
Thank you for listening.
You can listen to the rest of this episode
by subscribing to our Coupled with Chaos channel on Apple,
by subscribing to our Patreon,
or by subscribing to our Supercast
for $3.99 a month,
where you can hear us talk about reality shows,
real life, and more on our podcasts,
covering shows airing on TLC, A&E, Bravo, and the WE Network.
Just follow the instructions in the show notes.
Tell your friends about this podcast.
And rate and review us on your favorite podcast player.
Follow us at Coupled with Chaos on all the socials.
Or contact us directly by email at coupledwithchaos@gmail.com.